There was a line they used in A-Team all the time. I think it was, I love it when a plan comes together. Well, been wrestling with this difficulty for a few weeks now, and all of a sudden the problem seemed to solve itself. And the solution seemed, at least from my perspective, to be pretty slick, so I thought I'd share it with you. In the past, I have done most of my presentations and videos in Insight Maker. And I do the presentations and the videos as a set of web pages displayed in Chrome. And I was using Insight Maker splash screens that look like this. And I figured that doing Insight Maker splash screens for videos and presentations about Kumu projects was a little off. So I'm searching for a way to go ahead and create the splash screens in Kumu and manage them in Kumu in some way that was manageable. So what I finally came up with is I go to the web and I do a search for something representative of what I want to use for a splash screen. And I typically search for 1920 by 1080 because the size of the window I use when I record is that size. Now, if your screen is smaller and you have to use something smaller, there are other sizes that are appropriate, 1280 by 720, or something that's a 16 by 9 ratio. And in Chrome, anyway, the difference between this internal window and showing the tabs is plus 16 and plus 113. So depending upon what I'm doing, if I'm doing something such as a presentation or a webinar and I want people to see the URLs and the tabs, then I'll do the screen as 1920 by 1080. If I'm doing a video and I don't want any of this garbage to show, then I'll go ahead and resize this to 1936 by 1193. So all I get is the internal window. But back to what I have come up with is, here's an image that I want to use as a splash screen for a video that I'm going to do. So I look at this image, and the image is 1920 by 1080. I view this image, I right click on it and I save it to my desktop, and then I go load it into Cloudinary. And I can load this one because I've already saved it. 1102 problem solved, spelling helps. So I'll go ahead and select this and I'll load this image into Cloudinary. And if you're not using Cloudinary, cloudinary.com, I highly recommend it. I have literally, 1,100 images stored in here, and I still haven't run out of the bounds of the free capacity of the product. So it's marvelous in terms of being able to keep track of images, and there's an endless array of transformations that you can do on them should you need to. So now that I've captured this, I also want to go back here and visit the page and find out where this image came from. And I want to save that in Cloudinary also. So I'll tell it that I want to save the source so that to make sure that I always provide attribution to where it is that the image actually came from. So now I have this image in Cloudinary. If I now go to a Kumu project and go and say that I want to create a presentation, and here's the one that was the splash screen for this particular one, I can tell it that I want a new presentation, and I'm going to call it just a demo. Some subtitle, and I'll go to Cloudinary and I'll grab this URL and come here and stuff it in here. and then I'll go back to Cloudinary and I'll get the attribution, and I'll stick this in here. And I now have the splash screen for a video or a presentation or whatever. So I will just go ahead and save this, exit, publish this presentation, and then I can open it. Well, it takes it a minute to process it, but not very long because it's only one page. So what I now have is my splash screen, and what I use a product called Snagit from TechSmith to do screen captures for images. I will capture this image with the title and stuff on it, and I will stick that in Cloudinary also in case I want to use it in the future, so that if you look at, here's the original image, in other words, the splash that was done for this video. Here is the original image, and here is the image as I converted it to some other presentation slide. So I'll capture this slide also, and then later, if I want to use that for another splash, all I need to do to go to Cloudinary and click on this, and there it is. I have the image that I can use. This one isn't sized right because it was done for a larger size. And if I want to create another splash screen from the same image, then I can go back to the original version of the image itself and use that, which I did, to create the splash screen for this video. So, and that way, I don't actually have to keep all of these presentations in Kumu, or these splash screens. Once I create the splash screen, I can go ahead and save it somewhere else, or I can save it in Cloudinary, and it's readily accessible if you remember to put keywords on them when you save them so that you can search for them in the future. So I just wanted to share this with you because this sure makes my life a lot easier, since the number of presentations and videos I do on an ongoing basis is just a blur as they go by. So take care, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.